It's Derby week and we're bringing you our match preview in bite-sized form this week. Alongside me is Andy Warren from the East Anglian Daily Times and Ipswich Star, and Paddy Davitt from the Eastern Daily Press and Norwich Evening News. Pad, we'll come to you first. Simple question, key man for Norwich City? Simple answer?
2 words, James Maddison. Yeah, it's hard to look past him. Obviously settled the derby down there, didn't he? He's continued in the same vein. A month of, is he going to Man City, is he going to Tottenham, is he going to Liverpool? That was all obviously unfounded, but the fact that he was justifiably getting put into those top of gossip stories tells you his rate of progress, and yeah, if he plays well, then you would fancy Norwich will have a good chance.
Same question to you, Andy, key man for Ipswich?
For me, it's got to be Bersant Salina. First question is, will he play? He was left out recently for the win at Sunderland, but for me, I think he's got to play. He's got Derby Day magician written all over him. He can put the ball in the net from 30 yards, and he loves the celebration. So, all in all, he's got a Derby winner written all over him if there's going to be one for Ipswich.
On loan from Manchester City,
Yep.
Of course, isn't he? So Angus Gunn will
Yep.
perhaps know what to expect. Other than Bersant, who has shone for Ipswich this season?
Well, I think they've all had their moments. They've maybe not all clicked at the same time. Martin Waghorn and Joe Garner have been 2 great signings from Rangers.
Scored lots of goals, haven't they?
They have I think they're both on 10 now. But Waghorn's 12 without a goal. Still contributing to the team, still moving the ball well. His set pieces are excellent. He's a key man. If he can start scoring again, that should really get Ipswich back in the goals, back in form, and winning games, which they've not managed to do back to back. They've only done that once since August.
Okay. Paddy, other than Maddison, I mean, clearly Norwich playing with a back three nowadays. Who beyond Maddison do you see as being the key man?
Well, probably another guy in that midfield area, and that would be Moritz Leitner, who really interesting backstory. You know, almost a head scratcher how he's pitched up at Norwich, because he's 25-year-old German midfielder. Was rated as the next big thing in Germany. He was actually the captain of his country at under 21s level. Jurgen Klopp took him to Dortmund. He won the league and cup there. He was on the bench for the Champions League final when they played Bayern at Wembley a few years ago. Really blue chip pedigree, but for whatever reason his career's tailed away a little bit. Unfulfilled spells in Italy with Lazio, and then he's been at Augsburg, hasn't played for a season and a half. Daniel Farke's used his connections, worked with him at Dortmund, has brought him in on loan till the end of the season, and literally just in the 2 games or so that he's been in a Norwich shirt, he looks a cut above the Championship. You know, really good, high quality midfielder, the type of player Farke wants, really. You know, to manipulate the ball, good range of passing. So I think it's safe to say he will start, and if he has the same sort of impact as he has in the last 2 games, then yeah, him and Maddison, that could be very productive, I think.
We're coming off the back of the January transfer window, of course. Do you feel that Norwich had a positive window? Of course, they brought in Onel Hernandez and Dennis Shabani as well, but we've not seen too much of them yet.
No, they look like ones for the future. Pritchard obviously going for big money allowed them to be a little bit more active. I think they were expecting to be a bit more quieter than that, but obviously once you get that sort of money in, it gives them a bit more flexibility. So they've brought in players with a view, I think, to next season and beyond. Obviously Leitner is a bit more shorter term. I guess if you were greedy, you'd say they were probably still a little bit light in right back areas. Hence, Harrison Reed's had to fill in for Ivo Pinto, who's been injured for 2 games. Yeah. Top end of the pitch is still a concern, particularly with Nelson Oliveira and no goals in 10. Andy was talking there about slight issues at the top end for Ipswich in terms of goals. Certainly, that is the case for Norwich, and so I'm sure most Norwich fans would have liked to have seen something happen at that area of the pitch. But overall, yeah, I think it was quite a positive window. Yeah.
And for Ipswich, in terms of January, I mean, Bartosz Białkowski is one of the most high-profile players, isn't he? So was hanging on to him sort of the biggest business?
I think you'd probably put that down as the biggest business. Not only hanging on to him, but they've agreed, not signed, but agreed a new contract, which is big for Ipswich. Okay. Aside from that, January was a patchwork job, really, bringing in players to fill gaps, fill holes, with Mick McCarthy at pains to stress at the beginning of January that anything he did do wouldn't really be looking any further than the end of the season, and that relates to his own future, of course, which is a big subject going into this game.
Top stuff. Thanks, chaps. We'll see who's going to be the Derby hero this time. We've got 2 more preview videos for you on both teams' form and Norwich's Derby dominance in the last 10 years as well. So if you haven't had a look at them, check them out on our YouTube channel.